What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Hope all is well with you. Now, guys, in this branch of the fandom, we've been saying that Star Wars, as it is under the Disney Corporation, has been dead ever since it's been under the Disney Corporation. They have no imagination, no creativity. The only thing they know how to do is rip off of other people and not give them credit for it, and then half-ass do it. In the meanwhile, they are virtue signaling, they are identity politicking all over the place. They do everything except deliver on the potential that we know is Star Wars. And we've been talking about this, and of course, we get dogged for saying it. And if you're like me, you get ignored altogether because they want to categorize this whole problem as being an issue with angry white guys. So since I'm not an angry white guy, of course, they tend not to listen to people in other voices that are not angry white people. So it's pretty despicable, guys. And you see that this is the common practice for years now, okay? But I've noticed recently that it seems to be more commonly accepted, and you see more mainstream and higher profile voices who are actually joining and expressing their dismay and disapproval with this Star Wars thing under Disney. Now, of course, you got some people out here who are going to love Star Wars no matter what. As long as you give them the bells and the whistles and the sound effects and drop a little reference here or there, little Easter eggs, they're happy. Okay, but the actual essence of what Star Wars is starting to become more of an accepted opinion, if not a fact, that it's kind of fallen off. You know what I mean? And to that, you have South Park, which last week came out with an episode that roasted the hell out of Kathleen Kennedy, who is the president, I believe, of LuKKasfilm, or, so they got to her and they really criticized her or Star Wars under her management because, of course, it's lacking, it's fallen off. So everybody knows that it sucks. So you got South Park, which is seen by billions of people crapping on Kathleen Kennedy. So you have a lot of people expressing their opinions about that. And one of them is our own darling Gina Carano. Now, Gina Carano paid the ultimate price. You guys noticed she was on The Mandalorian. She starred as Cara Dune, easily one of the best of new characters in Disney Star Wars. As a matter of fact, I was still on board with The Mandalorian. At least I knew the movies were crap, but The Mandalorian I was giving a chance to because I did like Cara Dune, and I did like Grief Karga, I believe, the Carl Weathers character. Okay, so anyway, I saw potential there, but then of course we know what happened. She got fired for basically telling the truth on Twitter, and people tried to twist her words to make it seem like she was, somehow anti this or whatever. You guys know the story. She ended up getting fired, and not only that, but they really slandered her name. They lied on her. People say that she said what she didn't say, and to this day, they're still minor birding that. So she gave her opinion on what she saw, with the whole South Park thing. And I want to read it to you guys because I give her a lot of respect and a lot of credit for this. She has the right to say these things after what happened to her, basically being blacklisted because of some BS. So she says on Twitter, in response to the South Park roasting of Kathleen Kennedy, this is the part where Kathleen Kennedy demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option, and we all know that she's capable of doing that because of the ratio she'll receive. Then she'll have her publicist ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about the South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot. I remember I did a video one time called Useful Idiots when I was talking about this very dynamic. She has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm. She'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racist, bigot, transphobes, and demand the South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of. And finally, she'll demand they subject themselves to a re-education course of 45 people in the LGBTQ community Zoom call to sit there and listen of how badly they got their feelings hurt over a little boop of a South Park episode. But maybe the jig is up. Oh man, she went all the way in on that one. Big respect to Gina Carano. Of course, you know, she's not even exaggerating, guys. You might even think she's kidding here, but Kathleen Kennedy and her cronies have been known to do this very thing. They have disabled the dislikes. They have called out YouTubers specifically, you know, for saying the things that we say, and discredited us and made us out to be terrible people. She had Ewan McGregor go online, you know, and take Star Wars fans to task for being racist. Like all of these things that Disney Lucasfilm has done to attack the fans. Of course, who can forget round-headed Ryan Johnson and the way he called us, fanboys, you know, who still live in their mother's basement, man babies, you know, all of this stuff has been one long line of insults since she took hold. And it's all because she can't deal with the fact that people don't like what Star Wars has become under her leadership. It's the same thing that we get with everybody, you know, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Star Trek. We see this with Director X. These people with their puffed up, inflated egos can never take objective criticism or even passionate criticism from people who actually are spending money and have the right to say how we feel. So getting back to Gina Carano, we had someone from around the galaxy on Twitter say, in case you're wondering, at Gina Carano has lost her G-damned mind. So he's basically saying that Gina Carano is crazy for saying the things that she's saying. Gina Carano saw it and she fired back on Twitter. Do you always call a woman crazy just because she has more first-hand experience than you and says something you don't like or understand? A bit misogynistic, don't you think? Tisk tisk. Curious if your overlords pay you, or do y'all just curious if your overlords pay you, or do y'all just go ahead and shove your whole head straight up your ass for free? Ah! That's what I'm talking about, Gina. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. It says here, I'm guessing for free. Might want to come out for some fresh air, for some added context, not just for you, but for the people reading. One of the things your overlords asked me to do was to unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy. That was a huge red flag for me. This is something we heard about years ago, guys. And this is the reason why I say stop being surprised when you find out that these people know about us. I freaking said this something like 6 or 7 years ago. Of course they know about us. That's the reason why my whole approach in my videos has always been of a mocking nature. You know, if you notice, I've always done that. You guys might remember when I did my classic song, Come On Kathleen, or when I talked about Darling Kathleen. I knew a girl named Kathy, I guess you could say she was a sex fiend. It's like I always do these things. I always know that they're watching. I don't care how few views I get. I don't care how many articles don't talk about me. I know that I'm being seen, because when you're talking about these people in particular, because they are just so vain, of course, they're narcissists. Of course they're going to listen when you're saying their name. They know that we're talking about them, so stop being surprised about that. If I were the head of one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world, I would know that haters come with the territory. Thank you. And that maybe the haters are expressing their thoughts because they actually care. And caring is a good thing, because as long as they care, well, hey, we still have something to work with. Maybe we can win their hearts back and eventually, and maybe they do have some good things to add to the conversation, which they do and did. At the very least, they are still buying the product. Look at Mando Season 1. Boom, the healing had begun. Gina, I love you. This is what we're talking about. This is what I've been saying for the longest time, guys. The only reason why we talk about this is because we care. That's the reason why I hate it when people say nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. I have been saying once again for years, if you have a child that you love and believe in, you will never accept them failing at school unless you just accept that they're a dumbass. If they're truly a dumbass and you can accept that, then you're going to accept them failing. But as long as you believe in something, as long as you love something, you're going to hold it to the standards that you know that they are capable of achieving. If you are a proper, good leader and learn how to embrace and communicate, not dictate and silence and demand your actors and directors unfollow and shame more than half of your fan base and the people who have stuck with the franchise for decades. Side note, don't say the Force is female and then only allow the men to express their political views online. She's probably, if I had to guess, talking about Pedro Pascal when he critiqued and criticized and insulted half the fan base by saying that all Republicans are akin to Nazis. Yeah, I said it. In fact, just drop the ridiculous phrase completely. Yet, Gina can say what she said and get fired. So that's what she's talking about. There's that double standard. One of the problems your overlords is having now is that they've made a lot of people completely stop caring about one of the most beloved franchises in history, all by bullying, pushing aggressive agendas, and trying to silence the people criticizing them. No lies detected here. I was just saying on a stream, on Yellow Flash's stream over the weekend, I have not watched a Star Wars series since I don't know when. I didn't watch, probably after Kenobi, all right? I didn't watch Andor. I didn't watch whatever came after that, right? There was something else, right, that came after Andor, the one that was on now, Ahsoka. You know, I haven't watched a lot of this stuff. I'm not going to watch. Like, you get a lot of people who are saying that. We just don't care anymore. And it never should have come to that. How are they able to tell stories they don't understand when the ones they identify with are the Empire? They're literally trying to squash the little guys, the rebellion. No wonder the storytelling is struggling. Oh my God, she is on a roll right here. I'm sorry the video has to be long, but these words need to be heard, guys. This is what I've been saying. It's like for everybody who criticizes us as the customers, as the fans, remember, we're the ones who work 9 to 5, 4 to 12, 12 to 8. We're the ones who struggle to make ends meet. We're the ones who are trying to, you know, go to the movies and spend this money that we earn the hard way. But those who are bashing us are siding with a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're siding with the Empire. We're the rebellion. We want change. We want a better day. We want to feel good about what we spend our money on. We want to be confident when we go into the movies to see a Star Wars movie or watch a Star Wars show, although I'm more partial to movies, that we're going to get the epic storytelling that we're used to. It doesn't mean that it's perfect. It doesn't mean that it's for everybody. Remember, Star Wars fans are a very specific fandom. It doesn't have to be that the whole world loves Star Wars. But those who get it, those who appreciate it, those who have the imagination to meet them halfway, those are the ones who should be listened to. They fired and dehumanized people like me who did absolutely nothing wrong, all to virtue signal to people like you, the yes men. But yes men, unfortunately for you and them, do not drive culture. Maybe they were banking on the kids packing or picking up the slack, but one of the best things to come out of this franchise is passing it from generation to share. The competition is too high to throw out something as valuable as that. Why would one generation pass it on when you've disrespected and thrown them away? I've said that before. My son was only 8 or 9 years old when he fell out from Star Wars because he didn't like what happened in The Last Jedi. You know, children, you don't see them buying the merch. You don't see them wearing the t-shirts and things like that. And I'm not talking about the toddlers that they bring to the theme parks either. I'm talking about the pop culture phenomenon that Star Wars has always been. You don't see it that way anymore. Your overlords tried to hide behind the two opposing fan bases fighting each other instead of taking responsibility, so they encouraged the hate, all while virtue signaling they are standing up for minorities, which is the reason why I speak up. Thank you, Gina, thank you. Why is it that the people they claim that are the racists and the bigots, why are they the only ones who acknowledge me and people like the Dark Council? Think about that. But instead, using them as a shield and weapon. Funny enough, just how our government works. Oh boy, she's getting deep with this. They think people will forget. And yes, maybe they will, but for this moment, they have heard the people's voice and it shook them. They're choosing to stick with their weak leadership who couldn't handle YouTubers saying mean things online, when all it would have taken is a true leader to step in, take the reins, take some responsibility, stop discriminating, apologize. Dude, I think it moved. I'm so excited right now. I'm sorry, no disrespect. Apologize about the things. Oh my, okay. Apologize about the things that have been done wrong, step completely out of politics, be truly inclusive, and they be back in business. Until then, they're stuck with you, the yes men, and their plummeting stock. Now, I'm not saying I'm right on all fronts. I am. but I am open-hearted and refused to discriminate based off of powerful people telling me how to think and act, and if there was something I needed to apologize for, I would have in a heartbeat, but I didn't say or do anything wrong. People come up to me daily to shake my hand and to thank me for taking a stand, even people who think diff. One thing is true. Good leadership makes for a better world, leading to healthier and happier people and better opportunity. Look around. We are watching the devastating effects of what bad leadership can do worldwide. You know something, guys? This is the part where I give my commentary, but I'm going to end this video abruptly because I want you to think about what Gina Carano just said. You don't hear me say this very often, but I could not have said that any better. Big respect to you, Gina Carano. You told the truth from beginning to the end. Not just about Disney, Star Wars, not just about Kathleen Kennedy, but about this ridiculous, crazy world that we have around us. And I want to leave you with that to marinate in, guys. Thank you for listening. Definitely thank you for listening to this. And I thank you for sharing. I thank you for your subs. I thank you for your super thanks. And everybody who takes the time to think about this. We can win. We can make a change. All we need is for people to actually say what is actually the truth. That's what Gina Carano did. Big respect. Salute to you. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on. Wow.